Welcome to our Two Posh podcast. I am Gabrielle. I'm your host today. I am here with my co-host Bernie.
Hello.
Marcella is missing because she has the flu.
She has the kissing disease. No, that's strep throat. That's right.
No, the kissing disease, that's mono.
Is that mono?
Yeah.
Can't you get the flu from kissing someone? You probably get everything.
You probably can get anything from kissing.
That's right.
Something.
That's right.
But this is definitely a first. We have had over a year and a half of recording shows to a week, and none of us have ever missed, thank God. So
with her being around kids so much, I'm surprised she's not sick more.
Isn't it? I know.
No
we are going to call her in though, and hopefully get somewhat of a...
Will she sound like herself?
She sounds pretty pitiful.
Does she?
Yeah. So, and Spider, hi, how are you today?
Hello. I'm 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up, no music yet.
I know.
We'll
Is that the next
music.
segment?
And we're welcoming a very special guest today. We're very, very excited to welcome Alex.
Hi, my name is Alex Gonzalez.
And we have a little story on him already. Poor Alex came... Alex is actually our guest that is a witness to 2 things that have never happened on the Two Posh podcast ever in the history of it. Number 1, meaning that Marcella is not here because she's sick.
Yeah.
And number 2, he was scheduled last week.
Oh, yeah.
And we showed up here and it was totally my mistake. I'll take the blame.
Spider, were you striking? Is that what it was?
No, that was my one day off.
The studio was
last
closed.
Week,
and I completely somehow missed the boat on scheduling the time for the studio, and Alex, our poor guest, was waiting outside.
I'm so glad you came back because
I know.
although you said it last week in front of us, we were like, I hope he comes back.
I mean,
So
but we made it a party in the hallway.
Yeah, we did.
That was so much
right.
fun, just making our little mango dragon fruit Starbucks mixers with vodka.
Right?
That was
Didn't
so fun.
Did you feel healthy? You're drinking like
I feel
dragon
healthy,
fruit, a little bit of vodka. I don't know if it's potato vodka or what, but hey, there's healthiness.
It's potato, it's fruit,
So I was asleep at the time. Y'all were up here, and I get a message from Michael. I was asleep, didn't notice it, and then I get another one like an hour later. He was like, "They're still in the hallway." I was like, "What?"
How funny! Could he see that we were in the hallway, or were you talking to him, Gabby?
No, you can see.
Oh, that's so
pretty
funny.
We have security cameras.
He's like, these guys are set that somebody's going to open studio for them.
Yeah, I know.
No.
It was fun, and now he came back, and we were very, very grateful. And Alex is actually a very accomplished journalist, and we met Alex when Marcella was doing Dancing Queen, the reality Netflix show.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
I think you had sent like a press release or like a pitch letter to my editor, and then she forwarded it to me, and I'm like, oh, this is a cool story. And then we met over at 1418 Coffee House in downtown Plano, and you know, we all just kind of hit it off. We stayed in touch.
Yeah.
Nice. How long ago was that?
About a year
ago.
month ago. I actually have the article here.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do. This is the article he wrote. The title was Marcella Raneri spills the tea on Dancing Queen, self-care and handling rejection.
Oh, that's cool.
And he is just such an amazing writer. I just love reading his writing. And I feel like from the time we did this article, he has just exploded, haven't you?
I mean, I've been doing this for almost 2 years now. And I think Marcella was like one of the first big, TV stars I had interviewed. And yeah, ever since then, it's just been kind of going up from there. And, I'm honestly eternally grateful to you guys, for giving me this opportunity.
How did you get into writing? Like, what were you doing before you were writing?
Well, writing was kind of like the first gig, I got out of college. But while I was in college, I studied marketing and psychology, but I did a lot of like marketing and PR internships, and, PR and journalism just kind of intertwine, and I guess that's kind of how I got into that world.
Wow.
Did you always like to write?
Yeah, I've always been a good writer. I've never really been good at like math or anything, so writing just kind of came firsthand.
It's nice that you can like make a career out of something.
Isn't that amazing?
Mathematician or something.
I know. Alex, tell us a little bit about your life. Where did you grow up? Give us a little synopsis.
I grew up in Plano, Texas. I grew up in the suburbs, and it's kind of grown. ever since I was a child.
Kind of. My gosh, man. You go north there, you have Frisco, which has exploded. Then you have Prosper. And now I think Anna or Gunner is north of that. And it's starting to explode.
Salina.
Melissa. That's right. It's pretty crazy.
I mean, we have the $5 billion mile.
That's right.
Yeah, we're in
That's
Frisco.
right. I love it.
So
Cowboys headquarters, Jerry World.
I mean, right. I mean, you are sitting at the cusp of everything. I mean, there's so much writing for you. You never have, I mean, there's not enough of it, right?
Kidding.
Yeah, no, it's always growing. There's always like a story to write about over in Collin County.
A scandal.
Not too many scandals. I would love to, break a big scandal, but
not yet.
Not yet. Whenever I get, my first scoop of a big scandal, I'm definitely breaking it.
Yeah.
Whenever I get the chance.
So, but you went to UNT.
Yeah, I went to UNT. I graduated in 2017, and just been writing ever since.
And what about like your private life? Family here, good family life?
Yeah, my family, they still live in Plano. I live over in Dallas, over by Lower Greenville and the SMU area.
Awesome. I love life.
Yeah, I'm seeing someone right now for the past almost 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's going well.
Good.
So serious. 2 years, like a serious 2 years? Like it's, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. And
That's
what does
awesome.
your partner do?
My partner works over at a really luxury uptown restaurant. He bartends.
Really?
Yes.
Can you say the restaurant? Give him a plug.
I don't know if he would appreciate that, but
Let's
What
not
about
do that.
I guess we won't say that then.
but
No.
it's really good. It's really good food, and he's
Zealously.
really skilled at cocktail making.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Nice.
awesome. I know.
Have him in for
Right.
a drink time.
No, that'd be awesome. I think he'd love to.
That would be great.
We'd love to
be
drink
on the
it.
show.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
You're a writer for the Dallas Observer.
Yes.
Is that new?
No, it's
that
been
was
around
always-
since like the 80s.
No, but for you to write for them.
I've been doing that for about a year now.
Right.
Uh-huh.
That's
How'd you get that?
awesome.
That is really cool. How
that's
did you get
so
that?
Cool.
That gig?
Basically by networking, just following, keeping in touch with the right people.
Do you write specific stories for them, or do you have a segment there, or how are you working with them?
Basically, my main beats over there are food, art, and culture. I do have like a regular segment on the art and culture side where
That's cool.
I do every Friday where I do the weekends events that are either free or they're cheap. They're like all under $20.
Really?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
That's super cool. So can you find your segment online as well as on the I guguess more stuff's going to online,
Yeah,
right?
most of my stuff is online. I'm only ever in print every once in a while, but most of my stuff is online.
Do people? I guess they do. Some print, some people, old school.
Some,
right?
but I think it's mostly
I still
online
like
these days.
for my local profile stuff. Most of that stuff is in print. I do like an advertorial for Baylor Medical Center.
Really?
Yes, and I did like a food guide for the November issue, like best restaurants for people who have food allergies or dietary restrictions, like gluten-free, vegan, soy-free.
So go ahead.
I
sorry.
want to know if do you seek out the restaurants, or do they how does that work?
Usually, like if I see something new is coming up, I will go in there and do like a secret review, but a lot of the times, like the restaurant's publicists, like their PR people will email me and see if I want to come in.
That's awesome.
So I'm curious, how does that work? Do they bring you in and prepare a specific menu for you, or do you just go in there? I mean, how does that work?
Usually like they want me to try certain dishes just to like test things out. I usually try things that are specific to that restaurant that I can't get anywhere else,
So,
Right.
I'm curious, are there, because you're obviously, everyone wants to get their restaurant out there and known and whatnot. Do you get to some places where they want you to try something and it's just nasty? You don't have to say any restaurants in particular, but how often does that happen where you're...
It happens like every so often, I mean, I try to find good things about it, but there's just been some restaurants where like, I don't know, like the food has just been like really basic or like no flavor. And, I don't know. I try to be nice though. I don't want to be the asshole that's like...
But you're not eating like caterpillar or cockroach or...
No. Thank God. But
Thank God. Tell us, what's the most inspirational story you have ever written, would you say?
Oh, that's a good question. There's this lady, QC Stone. She was an immigrant from Vietnam. She was orphaned when she lived in Vietnam, and then she came to America, and then after that, she was orphaned here.
No way.
And then she got on her feet, and then she started her own business here, but she ended up losing everything, after it went under. But she and her husband, they built themselves back up, and now they spend a lot of their time and use their resources to give back to others. And
nice.
Well, that tends to happen. People who have everything taken from them, they tend to, when they get it back, a lot of people tend to be way more grateful and better about giving back because they know how it feels to be on the flip side of having things.
What about the most shocking story? Have you ever written one that was like shocking to you?
Shocking.
Like where you went into it and then they told you something, you were like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect that.
Gosh. There's one story that that's it hasn't been published yet. I submitted it to my editor like last week, but it was like about the porn industry, and I learned like a lot of shocking secrets. Like I heard that like Chase Bank, doesn't allow like sex workers to have bank accounts. So if you do like porn videos online, like live camera streaming, if Chase Bank finds out about it, they'll shut your account, and they'll give you a certain amount of time to move your money.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. That's crazy. I didn't realize it was like a religious, what is that, a religious deal? Or?
I don't think it's a religious institution. I just think it's kind of like their ethics, which, I'm not.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't do sex work, but the whole situation is kind of fucked up. You never know anyone's story. You never know why anyone resorts to that or chooses to do that.
Yeah.
What else?
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. What else did you find out?
I don't want to give too much away just because I think it's a really, really good article.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of it. And, it should be coming out either sometime next month.
Oh, everyone look for it. That's awesome.
How did you find that story? Because going away from food and restaurant life.
And about porn. But so basically there was this porn actress, Amia Khalifa. She said that during her time like in the industry, she only made like $12,000.
Really? And she's a really huge porn star.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then so like it inspired me to like, do other research. I didn't get to interview her for this story, but I got to interview other people who had done porn, and I wanted to learn like their side, what happens, when you enter the porn industry and you don't read your contracts, or, what happens after you try to leave the porn industry. How do you build your life back up again? Yeah,
we've heard so many stories or we've seen people who came out who were really big into porn and big names, and they were here today, gone, in 30 seconds.
We have interviewed a porn star before. And
she's still very involved, right?
Very. Yeah. She actually did a big comeback.
Really?
Emily Austin.
Who is
Emily Austin.
Yeah.
Have you met her?
I have not.
She would give you a story anytime you need one. If you want to interview her, I can hook you up.
I was not a host when they when they did the podcast with her. The stories I heard were unbelievable. Yeah, it's pretty crazy for sure.
She is a sweetheart. I love her.
I'll have to check out that episode.
Yeah,
we did 4 shows on her.
What was her? Do you remember her episodes? Because I want to go back.
There's 2 of them that were before even episode 30 because we didn't have video, and then we brought her back, and we had 2 with her with video.
Was her husband there too?
No, but I know him because I had a store at Silver City, and he used to be the manager there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was the best because what he would do is he would come by the store and go, "My wife, if she wants anything, she gets it."
Nice.
I was so nice.
We like those customers
I love
for
those
sure.
customers.
Wow, that's crazy.
Awesome.
That is really crazy.
What was the worst story you ever had to write?
The worst story I ever had to write. I don't know.
Or have you had a bad story?
Maybe not.
I don't think I've had something that was like just so terrible that I had to write, but
is there one that's so I would imagine, I'm making this up in my own mind, and I'm probably answering the question I'm about to ask, but I would imagine the one with the porn stars is probably going to be the most sad one, right?
It was sad, but I learned a lot from it, and it was very interesting talking to these people, and I think it was one of my favorite articles I've gotten to write so far.
I think it's very interesting when you talk to them. Like I have always to date, people, they look at me and go, you're really serious. And I am very serious about it. When I had that little store at the strip club, there was no theft. There were these people who had so much respect for the store, for me, it was better than when we had a regular restaurant.
Really? No kidding.
I'm telling you, it was very interesting.
That is interesting.
These people, they all have a story, like Alex said, and most of them have tragic stories at some point, somewhere, somehow, and they're all just trying to make a living. Some have kids, it's really interesting.
It is.
Interesting people.
I've had a number of friends that danced, and it is. Very few people do it because they love it. It's usually circumstantial.
Some do, yeah.
Yeah, so there are a handful that love it, but it's usually very, very circumstantial. And the downside to that, and this is I don't mean this judgmental at all, but it's an unfortunate thing that, at least in porn and sometimes dancing, but it sticks with you. You're stuck with that no matter what.
With it. And it is. People are extremely judgmental. Yeah. It's like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, you do that, you're already written off. No one even gives you a chance that you are human and something happened, obviously.
No, my thing on this is, because when I was in college, whenever I needed extra cash, I would model for art classes.
I was just going to ask you.
Nude
modeling, right?
Yes.
He wrote an article on it.
Yes, I did. I used to do that in college. And then I asked one of my friends, I did an interview with one of my friends who did that in college too, who I met through the program. But yeah, I used to model naked in college. So people could easily say the same thing about me, that I'm using my body to make
I don't know
money,
I hear you, but I don't think I could compare that to the same thing. I could totally get it because maybe it's all our interpretation. See, that sounds very much more tasteful, right? You're modeling, you're not doing it like in a club or...
But it's what counts as tasteful and what doesn't? Because I don't know, some people, from my family's church were like, oh, your body is the temple of God. You should be treating it as such. And I'm like, what? I'm not offering my body. I'm just letting people, draw it. And
tell me about that, though. How was that?
It was fun. It was fun.
Were you nervous?
No.
Freaking out? How does that...
it was one of the most fun, part-time jobs I had during college,
How much does that pay?
I don't know. You kind of have to, be picky with your rate. The longer you've done it, the more you can charge. And, I charged about $30 an hour for my modeling session.
How long did you do that for?
Huh? About 2 years. And I still do it from time to time whenever I need extra.
No kidding.
Yeah, but I haven't done it in a few months.
So do you keep any of the artwork? People rob you?
No, I don't get to keep any of the artwork, but I get to take pictures on my phone. And
really?
Yeah.
So, but I need to know how this works. Yeah. How many people are in the room?
If it's a standard college art class, usually around 15 to 20,
Okay, so take me.
Yeah, let's go back on this one.
So you go your first time ever.
I feel anxious right now thinking about that. Me too.
I'm freaking out because those are your peers too. It's
gosh.
not
okay.
Strangers.
Well, luckily, I was in the college of social sciences and business, and that's an entirely different entity from the College of Arts. I didn't run into these people on a regular basis.
So, but the first time you go, you have to be a little nervous.
Are you anxious?
The first time, yeah.
So where do you get undressed? You get undressed before you step in the room? How does it work?
Well, there's a dressing room, and then you undress, and then you put on a robe, and then whenever it's time, the teacher will be like, okay, get in position, and then you drop the robe, and
That's crazy. So is there ever a time that you're turned on while you're doing that? Or you get a hard on or anything like that? While you're doing for that?
Okay, but okay. That's just. I can't think of a specific time where I got a hard on.
if you're naked in front of people and you see someone attractive,
does it just happen like that?
Yeah,
it goes up by itself.
It depends on. You don't have to pump it up or nothing. They typically go by itself.
As you're standing there.
Yeah, I think it just depends. Think of if someone gets turned on, women get turned on a different way. They may, get wet or whatever. And a guy, if they get turned on, they get a hard on. So
okay, well, but the thing, I don't know. The whole point of it is that it's not sexual.
No, of
it's
course.
just a natural, type of thing. But no, I can't think of a specific instance where I had a hard on. But that's just because mentally I try to get it myself.
So did you ever were there ever people who would hit on you after class? Did you run into that?
Ooh, interesting question.
No. Yeah, there was one time when I was modeling for a college art class. This wasn't at UNT. This was a different college. And then, I don't know. It was the weirdest fucking thing. This guy asks me, hey, is it cool if I take a picture of you naked? That way I can finish my painting. And I'm like, no, what the fuck? You're not going to have my naked body on your phone?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was...
Also, painting is okay, but not...
I would think it'd be okay to take a picture of it, but I guess not. I say this is all new for us. I've never talked to someone who did nude modeling.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
No, it was so fun.
I don't think I could ever do it.
Did your partner care? Ever get jealous?
No, he doesn't mind. You know, I mean, he knows it's not sexual.
Not sexual.
He knows it's like for tasteful art purposes. But
wow, I can't believe you haven't got
he wrote a whole article on it. You guys need to go look it up. It's I actually printed it out. It is a day in the life of a nude art model.
Yeah, and I interviewed
Alex Gonzalez.
I interviewed my friend Destiny, who was in the UNT art modeling program, and she still does it, from time to time too.
Very, 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 very cool. She says she has not run into any situations where she felt uncomfortable by the people around her. She says that modeling has helped her feel more comfortable in her own skin and has helped her boost her confidence.
Yeah, I got to imagine. Amazing. I mean, we're also talking about like an accredited college, Division I school. So are they Division I or Division II? I'm thinking UNT.
It's a good question. I don't really know.
Either way, a big school, a big small school. So, they're going to do everything in their power, especially with what's the movement they're doing, the Me Too, not the Me Too, the sexual harassment movement. What is that called?
Time's up. Me Too.
Me Too.
Is it Me Too? Yeah. So I'm sure everyone's dotting their I's and crossing their T's as much as they can.
Right.
So.
Now, there's one article in particular that you wrote that I wanted to talk a little bit more about because I think it's an issue that affects a lot of people, especially a lot of young people. He wrote an article called "I'm No Longer Working for Free, and Neither Should You."
Oh, yeah. I wrote that on LinkedIn.
Oh, okay. Yes. That's a LinkedIn article. I read it and I loved it because I think this is an issue that is presented to a lot of people. Especially like, for instance, Gino is dealing with that a lot right now because he is trying to make a career out of being a tennis pro.
Is he doing that for free?
No, he's getting paid, but there's a lot of things that he does do for free. In the meantime, of course, there's this fine line about what is paying your dues.
Yeah.
And where is it enough is enough. And it goes for dance teachers. Like we had a lot of problems when we had the dance studio. For some reason, people just think that it's the art, so you don't have to pay for it kind of thing. It's like you're doing it a favor. You're teaching your kids to dance and you're having fun and my little sweet girl is in class, so why do you have to pay for that? Kind of like that. I'm sure writing articles.
Yeah. And the thing, that inspired that is because, like, one of my mentors earlier on, I worked for her for free because, I was just getting started in my industry. But then, once I started, being in higher demand, with Local Profile, Dallas Observer, this woman was like, okay, well, when are you going to do stuff for me? When are you going to do stuff for me? And I'm like, I don't know. When are you going to pay me? Because at that point, at this point now, I'm not an intern. I'm not a beginner. I'm seasoned. I know my shit. I'm good at this.
Yes.
But so, to expect me to work for free is kind of insulting. And she's like, okay, well, I have to pay my, website designer and I have to pay my printer and all of this. And I'm like, okay,
you gotta pay your writer.
And then I'm like, okay, well, you wouldn't ask your website designer to work for free. You wouldn't ask your printer to work for free. So why would you expect your copywriter to work for free? And then, I don't know, I haven't really worked with her since. I still see her, from time to time at events, but I don't really work with her anymore. But
I think that's something that's always frustrating. When you're trying to do something to get yourself going, your business going, whatever, when your closest people expect it to be for free for them. And you would almost imagine that the thought process would be, you know what, I'm going to pay because I want to support you. I want to help you be successful. It's right. It should be that way. And most people, and now if you're the business owner or the person with the talent and you decide to do a hookup or give it for free, that's different. But I think if you really are friends with someone, you shouldn't expect.
Yeah.
And I say that because in the same sense, I've done stuff where I thought I could get it for free from friends. So I speak to me too. It's a mindset.
But it's with everything. Like if you have a friend that does hair.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you think you should get hair for free.
Yes,
Or
yes.
what happened with us with our boutique.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, people would come to me and go, "Can I borrow this?"
Mhm.
Now, I did
Really?
that. I did that for a long time.
Like,
And
what would
then
they borrow?
Stuff for photo shoots, and then
Wow.
I've had, I have this event. Can I borrow an evening gown? And I'm like, okay,
After you buy it?
we are,
After
yeah,
buying.
we are a store.
for a
I cannot
price,
let
you
you
know.
borrow anymore. But then there was the fine line with, I do deal a lot with photographers, models. So, for me, it's always been I provide a lot to have
Yeah.
for portfolio reasons. So my photographers and my models, they have always worked for free in essence. It's not for free because
Yeah.
I provide the location, the clothing,
The
the
environment.
models, vice versa, the photographers, because it's very hard to get models to show up,
Yeah.
but they always show up. So this was kind of you're
Well,
one
working
hand
smart.
washes
Yeah,
the other, you know?
And that's a totally different thing, right?
Totally different
because
thing.
you guys, it's set up front, expectations are met, and they're monitored.
Right, and we are
yeah,
providing a lot
correct.
either for both sides, but then when we would have paid events like fashion shows, everyone got paid.
Yeah.
So we kind of did that,
Yeah.
in that way. So there are certain jobs that you do for free, but you get something out of it for
Yeah.
yourself. They always get the pictures.
Absolutely.
So
That's
it's
great.
all that kind of
Which,
stuff.
I mean,
But-
that's hundreds of dollars for a photographer.
Mhm.
I mean, hundreds of dollars for a photographer.
so
And the thing is, you're not obligated to be loyal to your mentors like for your entire career. I mean, you should be
and there's
grateful for
that
those
too. Mhm.
opportunities, but they shouldn't expect you to work for free for them forever. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm grateful for the experience that this woman, gave me.
Right.
But
eventually-
I probably could not have gotten this far without her. But I am this far now, and
You
this
should
is
get
where my
paid.
main focus is.
Right.
I have rent to pay, I have bills to pay.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Do you still have a regular job, or are you doing this full time now?
I have like a part-time job, but I mainly focus on the writing.
That's
now.
awesome.
That's
That's
good.
really, really
Mhm.
cool.
Well, and it goes along with, as you continue to get more exposure, you
Mhm.
work out there, eventually it flip-flops to where you can stop the part-time job, make this full-time, obviously. Right?
So what
So-
are the goals? Like, what is your dream situation?
I know. I really would like to work full-time for like a national publication, like GQ, Billboard, Rolling Stone.
Oh,
I think the big dream is Rolling Stone.
So
Is
how does
it?
that work? Do you send your work into
Mhm.
them, or how
Do you
how would you go?
interview?
Yeah, how would you go that route?
I basically, you just got to submit it and, keep freelancing for a while until someone decides to put you on staff, I don't know. I'm 25 right now. I'm good with where I am now, in Dallas. I think, Dallas has a lot to report on. There are a lot of interesting stories to tell here.
Yeah.
And, hopefully within the next few years, I can get picked up by a national publication.
That'd be awesome.
that's awesome. You're doing it. I know
Yeah,
it.
no kidding. For
It's
sure.
gone up so fast. Like in
Mhm.
this year, it's been unbelievable to watch him. I love it. It's
Mm-hmm.
awesome. Now, tell us this. You wrote a story about Frisco becomes first test site for Uber Elevate
Mhm.
air service.
Mhm.
Tell us about that.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
cool?
It's going to be pretty exciting. So it's basically flying cars. You get to go to like a heliport in Frisco and, just right in
This is a real story, really
This is
happening.
real.
No, it's for real. Like it's
It's-
confirmed. It's happening, I think, in 2022.
Wow, that's cool.
That's in our
Keep
neighborhood.
telling.
It's in
That's
our
where- yeah, no
backyard.
kidding.
Mhm.
How did you come out of that? That seems like a really big story to get.
Yeah, I basically just got like a news release from like the mayor of Frisco. Who
Oh,
basically
Jeff
confirmed
Cheney.
it. Yes.
Great guy.
Mhm.
Isn't that amazing?
That's
Can
It
you
cool.
believe
So-
it?
it's supposedly going to get you from Frisco to the DFW airport in like 8 minutes, which
Damn. That's
So
fast.
you
That's
found this
very
story
fast.
yourself, and then
I mean, there had been rumors for like quite some time, but the mayor of Frisco sent me like a news release, like pretty much confirming that it's happening.
What is interesting, when I saw this, I had just spoken to someone that told me about this, that this is really
Dude, that's
happening.
Cool.
We are going to have things flying over our head.
Yes.
I can't
That
even
is
I
believe
know
it.
it's
really
going to be
crazy.
nice, being able to get to the airport, without having to deal with traffic.
So can you tell us a little bit about, I didn't research it, but is this like, do you have a a flight? A flying license, or how does this work?
Yeah, I think
I mean,
the pilots.
I'm not entirely sure. I think these pilots have to have some sort of aviation certification training.
Gosh, this is gonna be so crazy.
It's cool.
This is
the
be
details
like
are still kind of sealed right now, but
that's crazy.
Hopefully, more developments come.
I guess they have to have their own little highway through this,
they
right?
do a helicopter service in New York right now, but this one's supposed to be different.
I wonder how high up. Do you have any idea on like how high up these will go up? Or
no, I think they're in like the testing process. It's still kind of in its infancy right now.
That is crazy.
But
it's going to be in Frisco for sure?
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to happen. I actually saw a model that shows it, like how it works and how you should look it up. It's pretty cool.
I will look that up.
Our listeners should look it up. It is like you seriously feel like you're in the Jetsons movie. It's like that's what's going to happen. Like, I can't believe it. Like, okay, call an Uber. Can you believe it? I don't even know how.
It's like a flying car to a flying airplane.
Yeah.
That'll be crazy.
I know.
That would be a great place to do like a remote podcast.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Imagine when that's coming.
Maybe you can hook us up when you get hooked up, dude.
You wrote an article on the best non-conventional date ideas in Collin County. So what did you come up with that you thought was awesome?
This.
Whole article.
I think it's been like over a year since I wrote that. Yeah, it was November 5th, 2018. Oh my God, The Void at Cinemark, the virtual reality experience.
Where?
The Void at Cinemark. Oh. So it's at Cinemark in West Plano. You get to step into like Star Wars or like Marvel, The Avengers, and
that's something they have now?
Yeah, over at Cinemark.
No kidding.
In West Plano. It's the only one in DFW.
The one off the tollway?
Yes.
All right.
The one off Dallas North Tollway.
Yeah.
Yes. It's so much fun. You get to be an Avenger or, a Star Wars theater. Was like a Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Dude, that's cool for non-even dates. That'd be fun. Like, I would enjoy doing that. My son would love that.
Yeah, your son would love
that.
That'd
be really cool. I'm the big...
Yeah, no, I feel like it could be a cool family outing, too. Let's see. Indoor skydiving at iFly.
iFly, I've done that. Have you done that?
No, I'm so afraid of heights.
Really?
Are you kidding me right now?
It's so much fun. It's a controlled environment.
I know. I've watched it, and I've had
you gotta do
complete anxiety attacks just watching people do it.
Have you watched it, though?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
I watched it, and every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, my God, I could never.
Has Patrick done it?
No.
What? I for sure thought Patrick would have done this.
Patrick was in the Army. He jumped out of helicopters.
That's why I thought
real
for sure.
life helicopters.
Wow, that's crazy. Who are you watching doing it without you doing it? Who are you watching?
Jolie was invited to a party, but she didn't do it either.
Wow.
There's also at Oak Point Park in East Plano. There's also like a zip lining course.
Where?
It's at Oak Point Park. It's called Go Ape. There are like 2 Tarzan swings, 5 zip lines.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really fun.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was
We're giving you all kinds of dating ideas right now. You're going to be the star.
Bernie. Great.
Do you live in Frisco?
I'm in Frisco.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm up north.
This whole article is for you.
This is for me. I'm keeping that paper.
Stacy can thank me later.
Yeah, no kidding. I'll thank you guys.
Then Alex wrote an article on Plano. This is our hometown in Dallas, Texas. Our little suburb of Plano is ranked 15th in the nation for infidelity.
Yeah. That one. Okay, that one was really kind of a fun article to write because I got to interview like divorce lawyers and.
Oh, did you?
Yes, and they talked about what leads people to cheat, and one of the biggest issues is communication.
I've been divorced before. I can tell you that for fact. Cheating or not cheating, communications are bad for breakups for everything.
Yeah,
but that's crazy.
What else?
So 15th.
15th.
That's funny. They're 15th because I've seen that going on 15th Street in Plano.
No
you can see that too. They have that new Better Than Sex dessert shop over.
I was just yes.
But no. So like I've learned that the biggest issue that leads to divorce is money. But one of the biggest issues that leads to infidelity is lack of communication.
Not
so
lack of
wise
sex.
in such a young age.
I mean, I think that people don't communicate their needs well, which might lead to a lack of sex, or they might not communicate their needs for like affection or for time, because so there's this book by Gary Chapman called The 5 Love Languages.
Oh, that's a great book. Have you read that?
It's so good.
That's a great book.
It helped me and my partner, understand each other better, when we were having, our issues. But now I think everybody should read that book, try to learn their partner's love language, because, in a lot of instances, whenever one partner fucks up, they might try to make it up with, an expensive gift, but usually they just want, them to apologize for what they've done and, change their behavior and ensure that it won't happen again.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of truth to that. I think that 5 Love Languages is an amazing book. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, everybody wants to feel validation. They want to feel validated. Mm-hmm. So, and when you don't feel validated, and it could be because you're right, we all have different love languages. I mean, when someone messes up, you're right. The person who messed up may try to make it right with the person they messed up on, but in their own language. So it's completely misconstrued. The person who's been hurt doesn't feel validated. And it does lead to, lack of communication, which leads into infidelity because no one feels validated, and they feel validated by some, grasping green on the other side, and it's usually bullshit.
Yep.
So
that is, I just thought that was crazy. 15th.
Yeah. That's crazy.
In the nation, you guys.
When was this? Last year?
No, this was actually 2 or 3 months ago when I first
July.
started.
Oh, man.
July 25th.
Where's Frisco and Dallas?
I mean, probably right next to it.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean,
what's number one?
Incredible.
I don't remember what number one.
LA, Vegas.
I think it was one of the big major cities,
Dallas. I mean, New York or. I mean, Miami or
now
LA.
This I found extremely interesting too. I wrote an article on this at 29 acres to open living community for adults with autism.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
What an amazing thing that is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because a lot of, care facilities, they focus on children with autism, but they don't really help adults with autism navigate the world, after they leave those children's care centers.
Right.
Wow, I never even thought about that.
There's a lot of people with Asperger's that cannot, not even full-blown autism. Asperger's is another form of it.
Asperger's is a high-functioning autism.
Right, but they can't really live life others either. So this is an amazing thing. I have a friend who has a son, which I can't wait to show her.
Yeah. Well, because I think, at least I know for me, I think of children, I don't think of adults. When I think of autism, or I just don't. And until this article we're talking right now, I've never thought of as adults with that, whatever you call it.
And how do they function?
Yeah, and how they
this
function.
is, I mean, that had to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
When is it going to open? Do you know?
I think sometime early next year.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
So here's what's interesting, listening to all these different topics, right? Mm-hmm. Man, how do you figure out what you want to write about? Because you have to maintain a certain level of creativity at all times, clearly, because you're going from one dramatic, different from restaurants and whatnot to infidelity to, autism to
flying
Ubers. And, so how do you come up with your stories? I mean, how do you discover the stories you're going to write next?
I don't know. Sometimes, I'll usually get an email from a publicist or a PR firm that'll, give me a scoop on what's happening in Dallas or what's happening in Plano or Frisco. And, they'll send me a press release with the details, or sometimes I'll just, take a day off from work and take a day off from life, walk around the city of Dallas, see what's opening or see if I find anything interesting happening in the community and see what kind of story I can make out of that.
So for instance, I have to tell everyone, I'm going to Todrick Hall concert tonight. I am so super excited. I know you probably don't know who that is,
I don't know
but you will one day.
Who is it?
His name is Todrick Hall.
What kind of music
is that? He is
that?
probably one of the most genius musician, talented artists that ever has been born on this planet. Well, he is a drag queen and he still does drag music, but he's starting to go outside of it. And this year he was a producer on Taylor Swift's last video and actually
you
won.
Need to calm down.
Yes, and he actually won a Grammy.
Oh, I thought you were telling her to calm down.
No, that's the name of the song. You Need to Calm Down by Taylor Swift.
I was like, man, she does not seem worked up at all.
He won a Grammy for it.
He did?
Yeah, he was on stage.
It was like a VMA, not a Grammy.
Oh, was it VMA?
You know,
still a big deal.
Yeah, he was on stage with her accepting it.
Oh, I saw that. That
is Todrick Hall, and he actually went to Jolie's school. He is.
Really?
It is crazy. He's a local person. Yes, school? And he did concerts last year, and
how many?
Last year he did concerts, and so we went because he gave the school. He would go to the school and inspire the young kids, and then he gave us tickets to go, and we went, and I was so surprised. I was absolutely shocked.
What's
talent is beyond words. I can't even tell you. And this year, his concert is sold out all over the world.
Where's he at today?
He's here today at the Bomb Factory in
what's his name again?
Todrick Hall. Absolutely incredible talent. You can't lose if you start listening to his music. It is so fun. And I think he's gonna go mainstream eventually. That's my prediction. I've said this for a long time. But like, for instance, that's why I'm going today. Would this be something that you could go to and then write an article about? Would there be something that's interesting to you, or no?
I mean, I could probably do that. I mean, I do concert reviews every once in a while. I did one for Casey Musgraves. I did one for J Balvin.
Did you get to meet the artist?
I got to meet J Balvin. He was a really cool dude.
Not Musgraves?
No, I didn't get to meet Casey Musgraves. But
so, and on Sunday, there's a huge fashion show. It's a charity fashion show in Dallas, like with all the who's who of Dallas ladies. We're going to that. Is that something you would just want to go and write about?
That would be cool.
That would be cool. I'll give you all the info.
Sounds good.
What's the event for?
I don't know. I'm not prepared. I'll find out.
We'll find out next week.
That's the first time you've ever said that on this show.
That's the truth.
I know. Sorry. I just brought it up because I thought that would be cool if you could write about it.
You're like the most prepared person I've ever met. That's a first for sure.
Well, thank you guys. Just 3 firsts.
No kidding.
So I think we need to end the show with our 2 segments, and we'll have to call Marcella and Miss Polly today.
Hello?
Hey.
Miss Polly!
Oh my gosh, somebody answering. Good Lord.
How are you?
I am well.
We have a very special guest here today, Miss Polly. His name is Alex Gonzalez. He's a journalist. He's an amazing writer. He is a local writer, but I think he has big things coming. So awesome. We're going to have a little Miss Polly segment with Alex now. So let's play a jingle.
Okay.
This is Penis and Pussy Talk with Miss Polly.
His face was shocked too.
Everyone gets used to it eventually.
Miss Polly, Marcella is homesick with the flu. She's not here today, which is sad. We tried to call her in, but she didn't answer. So it is just us.
Just kidding.
So we're going to talk today. We have lately discussed the most common fantasies for people. And one of them I heard about is a common fantasy is spanking, hot wax, and bondage.
Yes.
Is that 3 separate ones or all together?
They all go together.
They can go together and they can go separate.
They can go separate.
Yep, for sure.
Tell us about it, Miss Polly.
They're actually more common than you would actually think about in terms of...
They're very common.
Excuse me. When people think of kinky sex...
like, that's very basic. It's entry-level kink.
I agree.
Oh, it's basic entry-level?
Yeah.
They actually, in some ways, 95% of the people that they surveyed, they did a little survey, 95% enjoy spanking as their number one go-to.
Yep.
That's
true.
You enjoy being spanked?
No. I enjoy the spanking. It doesn't do anything for me at all. But no.
But some people if you're into the BDSM or the kink or, it's kind of like the entry level of what people think.
That's what Alex said. Oh. He literally said the words, it's entry level is what he said.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's not a super uncommon thing at all. I think the waxes, I've never had anyone say, hey, throw some wax on me. It doesn't sound very sexy to me.
Wax me.
Yeah, wax me.
Wax me.
Wax play can be It can be different. I mean, because you can use like the soy candles, like for massage, that don't heat up really hot. You know, they actually are about body temperature. So it's more of a sensation as opposed to, you know, like the thought process of, oh my God, hot wax. Oh, but it's really nice.
Ouch. Ow, ow. Ooh,
No, that when we used to do the sex toy parties, we used to sell those, and they're actually really cool. They're like heart shaped. They're beautiful. They have a little spoon inside of them. Like you can use the spoon and drip it all over people. They were very, very popular.
That was never my thing. Never got
try it.
Wax.
Yep.
I don't know.
Next episode.
Kind of fun.
How about you, Alex?
I'm willing to try anything at least once, you know, almost anything.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, I'm not opposed to trying it. I've just it's never been something that anyone's ever asked, or I've been like, hey, let me drip some wax in you. But obviously it's something for a lot of people because
It's like when you do it the right way with those candles, it's kind of a more...
Have you guys ever done it?
We have used it, yes.
Oh, hey, there's Marcella calling in.
Wow.
Oh.
Good Lord.
Right on time.
Yeah, perfectly.
I fell asleep.
Hey.
Whoa, hello.
Hey, Marcella.
Hi.
We miss you.
Yeah, we miss
I
you.
miss y'all too. This is so boring
Are you getting taken care of?
by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Marcella, we were just talking about Miss Polly's segment. Can you hear each other? You can't hear each other, right?
They should be able
Oh,
to. But
Oh,
I
you
don't
can?
think
Yeah, she heard me.
I
Can
think
you hear Miss
Polly's
Polly,
on there.
Marcella?
Hello.
Oh, much
It's
better.
fine,
All
I think.
It's clear.
There
for
we
now.
go.
Okay.
Let's do this
Okay.
before it gets crazy.
Okay, let's do a question of the day.
All right.
The two posh girls ask the question of the day.
Question of the day. Is it a red flag if your partner feels the need to get super mad when another person looks at you or checks you out?
Yes.
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 You know, yes. Hell yeah. If it's one of those things where, you know, you're dating someone, they're giving you all that reason to, you're just feeding insecurity. But if you're really minding your own business, your own thing, you cannot be pissed off because someone looks at you because you're attractive or they're attractive. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I think
there's a lot of jealous people.
Yeah, I think it's understandable. Everyone has the ability to have a little bit of jealousy. I think a little bit of jealousy is healthy, but if it's like a consistent, they're pissed off, you're doing your own thing, and they're mad because someone good looking looked at you, you can't help how
I'm
amazing
always like,
you are.
hey, better be proud,
I know. Like,
right?
my thing on that is, you know, like that if it's like a consistent thing, I mean, yeah, but I mean, I have people, you know, hit on me even though I'm in a relationship, but my partner trusts that, you know, I will shut them down, and I trust that my partner will shut the other person down if someone hits on them. So, I mean, I feel like that's fair, you know.
We trust each other.
Yeah.
All right.
No, that's a horrible thing to be in a relationship like that. I've been in relationships like that where,
Really?
yeah, where someone was either jealous or I was jealous. This is in a very immature state of my life, but that has more to do with you than them. Unless, again, you're dating someone who cheats on you, who does stupid shit to you. But I think if you're
totally different.
right. But I think if you're dating someone who is just, that's an insecurity in them, or if you're that person, it's an insecurity in you, and it has nothing to do with them. Or you could have had someone else in a previous relationship mess with you or hurt you or whatnot, that you're trying to take it you're trying to put it on somebody else. But
How about you, Spider?
he doesn't give a shit. But go ahead. What do you think?
No, if it's consistent, if you're always getting mad about the same thing, and I think it's ridiculous, and I do think that is ridiculous, and that's, you know, deal breaker, red flag, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a chill person. You got to be chill too.
Right. Miss Polly?
I think it's definitely a red flag, especially if it happens like they say, like everybody else is saying, on a consistent basis. You need to like step away because that person has other issues,
Right.
and then they're leading down the path of becoming really obsessive, and that's scary.
Right. On
And
that
then they
note,
start cutting you off from everybody.
yeah. Yeah, right. On that note, we're going to end the show. Thank you for listening, everyone.
Bye-bye.
I will call you guys back. Marcella, go rest.
Yeah.